can provide for your family. You can provide for the people that rely on you. And that's usually your family and your family members. So I don't even recognize anything else outside of that for real though. But yeah, let's get back. Let's get to some whip moments, man. Let's do that. But y'all got to keep watching the show, man. You gotta start watching the shows. Go back and watch some of the long shows. You know what I'm saying? They're dope shows. They like this show, with their own flair, own flavor, own meaning, own perspective. I have a lot of different perspectives. I've lived a while, I've been around for a while. I just know how to take care of myself because my heart is as light as a feather. I don't have a whole ton of regret. I don't have regret at all. As a matter of fact, the things that I have done, I had to do it on principle, means, and the position of protecting myself and my family. Some people don't know how to do that because they're confused and misconstrued. They think you got to please everybody. No, you do not. You ain't got to please people like your mama or your siblings. You don't have to please those people because those people are not asking for you to please them. They doing how they doing, so you can't make those equations variable. How do I get rid of this shit right here? Let me hide that. You know what I'm saying? So how do you specifically how do you rid yourself of those unwanted distractions and unwanted uh, um, supposed responsibilities? Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Wilderness Podcast. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I'm back, and I'm here again for another night, for another bright show. This show tonight, as you know, as you can see, is called "Is Your Heart as Light as a Feather?" Show. That's an old, ancient parable from the old world, as they would call it, the old world, or an ancient Egyptian, or ancient Kemetic, or ancient Hebrew. It's a parable. Is your heart as light as a feather before you leave the planet? So, of course, it goes back to the ancient Cometian stories because you have to understand there is an algorithm to living life. It's a process that you have to develop a mindset to do so. So, when you understand how, when you live this life, you got to be accounted, everything is accounted for. And a lot of people say, oh, that's bullshit. Nah, whatever. Nah, I don't believe in that shit. Well, you think about it. I can understand why some people would not because you have to. It goes back to the position in the world that you exist in today, especially with the dominant society, meaning whites, globally. See, when you have never, and that does not mean all whites. Heck, they don't. Hey, some people, struggle does not have a specific actual definition of a title of who can wear it or who can go through it. But there's a catch. When you are of a melanated complexion, understand everything that you could think about with that perspective does change because you have to deal with the actual facts of the equation. You have to deal with the facts of it all. Like, damn, wait a minute. There aren't any programs for me. I don't have you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no what you would call. Let me get the chat going here. Let me see if the chat's gonna be out here. Let me show the chat. Show. All right. Also, let me see. I'm on all the platforms too. Okay. Let me take this to YouTube. See the chat. All right. Yeah. So anyway, um, but the thing is, you have to think about your heart as being as light as a feather. It has a lot to do with regret. The things that you've done in life, do you regret them? Do you carry them with you? Do you still associate your life with the things that you have done in the past that you're not proud of? Have you evolved? You know, that's extremely important for a man, you know, or a male. See, some people don't understand the factual equations with being a man and understanding manhood because some men were raised with no fathers or the presence of a man. So that makes a complete difference when it comes to how things how things come about and how things develop in your life. So when things develop a specific way in your life, you have to think about that like, damn, wait a minute. I missed that lesson. I was never given that lesson at 10 years old or 12 years old or 15 years old. Some men were never taught how to fish. Some men were never taught how to hunt. Some men were never taught how to do a great deal of many things that has to do with being a provider. Then in the midst of any situation, you can provide for your family. You can provide for the people that rely on you. And that's usually your family and your family members. So I don't even recognize anything else outside of that for real though. But yeah, let's get to some whip moments, man. Let's do that. But y'all gotta keep watching the show, man. You gotta start watching the shows. Go back and watch some of the long shows. You know what I'm saying? They're dope shows. They like this show. With their own flair, own flavor, own meaning, own perspective. I have a lot of different perspectives. I've lived a while, I've been around for a while. I just know how to take care of myself because my heart is as light as a feather. I don't have a whole ton of regret. I don't have regret at all. As a matter of fact, the things that I have done, I had to do it on principle, means, and the position of protecting myself and my family. Some people don't know how to do that because they're confused and misconstrued. They think you got to please everybody. No, you do not. You ain't got to please people like your mama or your siblings. You don't have to please those people because those people are not asking for you to please them. They doing how they doing, so you can't make those equations variable. How do I get rid of this shit right here? Let me hide that. You know what I'm saying? So how do you specifically how do you rid yourself of those unwanted distractions and unwanted supposed responsibilities when they're not your responsibilities at all? Your responsibilities to your household. Your responsibility is to maintain your mortgage, maintain food on the table, maintain clothes on people's back, maintain who you are as a being and as a man and your dignity. You don't owe the world nothing after that. You got bills, pay them. You owe somebody money, pay it. If you can't, work it out. Work out a payment plan. But always be a man of your word and your cause. And if somebody trying to cheat you and get over on you, man, avoid that shit. That's a scam. Avoid scams. Avoid long sharks. They ain't just came around. They old too. But shit just be transformable. But you got to have that original eye to see what that transformation was. When a person became a pickpocketer, now they try to steal your money and change identities on the internet, do all kind of old flip-flop shit to make you feel like something real and it ain't. It happens. You got to have a sharper eye. When you understand it's a business, it ain't associated with no Gmail account, nothing like that. It's real, pimp. It's a real situation. It's a real thing. It's for real. And some people will scam you. They have no guts. They have no heart. They have no means of giving a damn about you. They do not. The reason why they don't give a damn about you is they trying to get paper for themselves. Extreme scam artists. Extreme scam artists. Extreme, pivotal, destructive ass people that try to cause you way more harm than they are worth. For real. So anyway, let's get to the first whip moment. Because is your heart as light as a feather? Do you understand you got to account for all that scamming and lying and shit that you do? That shit going to catch up with you too. So let's get to the first whip moment. What have you done in life? That's the first whoop, Mom. What have you done in life? Stay with me, people. Stay with me. Stay watching the Wheel of this podcast. Stay with me. Check it out. What have you really done in life? Besides, figure out a way to take from others how to be deceitful or how to be destructive or how to pull shit down or how to reign your ass supreme simply because you want to tear and destroy and be despicable and take from other people. I always talk about these simple equations that keep you from doing it because some people feel like they have no knack but to do that. And that's specifically crazy if you ask me. That makes no sense for you to not do for self, meaning gain a skill set. I always talk about gaining a skill set. Make decisions that you don't regret. Make decisions that you don't care to pay for. Make decisions that's going to pay off for you in the long run and beyond, especially for you, your reputation, your destination and where you're going because you're going to meet new people, and your reputation and what precedes you is going to follow you. So you have to maintain a positive reputation, a positive mindset, and a positive way of order in order to keep moving properly in life the way you should move, with some dignity, respect, class, honor, duty that transcends everything. It transcends race. It transcends a whole great deal of things. That don't mean sell out. Dignity to yourself, loving yourself, and providing for yourself in the best means that you can possible is not selling out. It's not yielding. It's not breaking. It's not being somebody little bitch. It ain't none of that. What it is being a damn man or a woman and being a person of principle that stands on your shit. That's what the hell that means. For real. So what have you done in life? You have to figure that out. If you've never gained a skill set, some people are starving and struggling artists, but yet and still they're willing to do things that I ain't doing. Because I'm never going to sell myself. I can produce, I can work, I have an acumen about myself, and I have to also protect myself, my brand, and who I present myself to be. Specifically. For real. Let's get to the next what moment. You on the dig? Okay. Wicked people don't have a heart. No, they don't. They function on what you would call an agenda. Follow me. Stay with me now. Wicked people focuses on the agenda and all that it has to do with you and how your relationship will be once they create that relationship that they don't want to seem to let go of. So you have to understand how those relationships become sometimes toxic, sometimes you can't make everything out of a negative equation. It's also great to be an optimist, but a realist first. See, but when you're a realist, you'll understand how to be optimistic about somebody by how they treat you, how they are hospitable to you, what you know about them, what they display, how transparent, if they have things to hide, if they are, if they change in front of whoever they are around. See, if you're with that person and they change into a whole nother type of person, depending on who they're around, you can't even identify them and you're with them. That's strange. That means that person is not a chameleon in a good way, but they change with the wind because their whole aura, attitude, and positioning of self changes. That's a chameleon, but not in a good way. That's a fair weather person. They change like the weather. They ain't solid. You like people with the same characteristics that move in the same type of specific ways in all atmospheres, all situations. That's a confident person. That's a deliberate person. That's a person that's not going to have another story for you today and change their whole altitude the next day. That's not consistency. That's a person that'll sell their ass and their soul and lie to your face in front of your face and act as if they ain't never told a lie. These people do this shit on this platform. Yeah, for real. They do that shit on this platform. Always telling lies on top of lies with specific lies and then acting as if they ain't tell a lie. That shit's crazy as hell. That's just wicked people without a heart. They only care about uh chasing some money, or they care about being loyal to uh Their riches. See, I like to see. I provide a great living for myself before any of this content creation. I've been able to provide very well for myself and my family. So I hope you understand. It's about respect. So you should watch my shows. I'm a verifiable person. I'm an engineer by trade. I purchased 3 homes. I mean, this third one. I'm only 45 years old, going on 46. Yeah, practically 46 years old for real. Own multiple cars. Damn near all the cars I've ever owned were brand new. I ain't bragging, but these are real situations I've done without a helping hand. These are by my own means. These are by my own my own money, my own skill sets that were able to provide for me the way a man is supposed to provide for himself and his family, and that's what high means and very well means, and be meaningful about those things. You also have to have something in store. You also have to have different skill sets and different avenues of wealth, of course. So when you create those different avenues of wealth, you have residual income. Some people have, it's different types of means of income these days, and uh, people should take advantage of them any way they're possible. If it's insurance, if it's, with if it has to do with financial management, making people have a better algorithm of way of life about saving their money, being strategic with their money, and being very positional about generational wealth, about legacy, about leaving something for your children and giving them the ideology to maintain and hold on to it and provide and actually expand it. Do you know what kind of mindset that takes for you to actually have and mature within your child organically because they're interested, not because you're making them be a drug dealer or be a habitual criminal, anything like that. It's called work, working with the things and the tools that you have, applying them, and that's transcending being universal, meaning you have the attitude to be able to work with anybody. If I want to work with China, I can work with China. If I want to work with Belize, I can work with Belize. If I want to work with Brazil, I can work with Brazil. If I want to work with right here with Canada, see, it's all about individual relationships, but it's also about who you are as a being and as a person. Do you have integrity? Are you a liar? Are you going to follow through? If someone pays you, are you going to cop out or are you going to follow through? See, it's all about a handshake, a relationship, and a continual relationship that understands the ability of maturing. So, being that, and it also has to do with mindset, ideology, and how well you can combine, relate, and make and build. Building is the most important apparatus because that involves money and payouts. That's a business. That's an organization. That's something that people are looking for and always looking for what? Viable, reliable people. So if you check my resume, you check my sources, I'm extremely viable, reliable, consistent, strategic, and very disciplined. If I say that once or twice, I mean that because I got 2 jobs. I do it. I have to be disciplined in all areas and segments of my daily life. Now that's a lifestyle. Implementing discipline and implementing these different characteristics and being habitual about it, repetitious, that's a lifestyle. You understand? But dig this. Let's get to the next what moment, which leads to my next what moment. Race has nothing to do with hate. The reason why I tell you that is because there's a amalgamated amount of not just white people, but black people that hate black people. There are different kinds of black people. We're not a monolith. We're different kinds. We're different elements. We're different beings. We come from different places. We come from different geographical locations. We come from anthropological different backgrounds. And all colored people or people of color or black people or even copper color or melanated people, everybody did not come out of Africa. And everybody, the whole world shares DNA. So do I? Is that me denying if I have any? Absolutely not. That means you're just looking for something. You're a fool. You're crazy. Of course, we're all mixed. Hell, what if I told you I got European in there too? What if I said it's Aboriginal? Oh, what do you want to call it? The Siberian natives. What if I got some of their blood too? What if I got a whole a heap of mud blood, but I have this phenotype? So you know what that means? It's full of shit. It's a lie. That's what it means. That's all it means. It's a lie. See, the absolute truth has always been here. You just have to know where to look. You have to know where to find it. You have to know which rock to pick up and look up under. You got to know which rock was real and which rock was an implant. Just like when they chiseled the faces of Caucasians in Mount Rushmore, pure arrogance of a land you're not even indigenous to. Because when you look at the older structures, they're all black people. And we're not talking about just black from Africa. No, yeah, some too. That's not a disrespect, but it's also not a flex for Africa. It's a flex for melanated people globally. Global melanated people, not Africoid people, globally melanated people. What if some Africans have American features? You ever thought about that? Why do they call the Aboriginals of Australia the Abos? Because they're copper complected too. Australia's not so far from America. It's not. So you have to also be very understanding and very specific about your understanding of the world and not what someone told you. Because if they would tell you, and I'm pretty sure that common term, Pangea, when the globe was connected and everything was one, but who do you think was all over the globe then? Was it centrally located or just Pangea, Africa? No. When it broke apart, it became what? Africa became a Kebulon, but there was people existing globally. And we have survived the Hunger Dryas. You ever heard the story of Gilgamesh? Huh. You ever heard of the story of, I got some books up here that I would like you to see. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Oh, did I got them over here? Yes, I do. I sure do. Yes, sir. The Last Quest of Gilgamesh. Yeah. You got to have these kids. These are good for your kids. The Revenge of Ishtar. The retold illustration. Oh, yeah. The Revenge of Ishtar. Yeah. Check that out. And also you got Gilgamesh the King. Gilgamesh the King. Gilgamesh the King. The big giant. Gilgamesh the King. But let's get back to the Last Quest of Gilgamesh. Because I need you to understand Zirzudra. Zirzudra is who you call Noah. Zirzudra, that sound familiar? Noah's Ark? Zirzudra, the Last Quest? Oh, that sound familiar? Oh, that's because it was a stolen story, stolen tale. Yeah. So you have to Sidgeri. Oh yeah, it's got all the real names. Oh yeah. I remember reading that one. And then King Gilgamesh, and he was talking about y'all really need to get these books because it was about Enkidu and Gilgamesh and this whole quest of these are great little foundational books and read these little retold stories that are broken down from the Sumerian tablets and how these stories really are extremely very parable today. And when Gilgamesh and Enkidu killed a bull, that was the revenge of Ishtar when they killed with the great bull that they killed. And they pissed the gods off real bad. I mean, man, these some bad jokers, man. Gilgamesh and Thank you, do. But y'all gotta put your kids on those type of books, man. They're very, very informative, and they also those stories are extremely what we call moral based. They're very morally based. It has to do with vision. It has to do with the decisions that you make daily and what you would end up doing, regardless if you're 66% God and 33% mortal. We're talking Gilgamesh that can hold a lion in his arm like a baby cub. You understand what I'm saying? So listen here, man. We're talking about the real things of your heart has to be as light as a feather in order to understand what enlightenment and what the pursuit of enlightenment is. Enlightenment is always a pursuit. It's not something that you just get and you run with. No, because if you think it was that means that you don't have that your redundancy is over, that your the redundancy that it takes to understand and the repetition that it takes to understand how to implement these type of characteristics in your life to make your life just that much better, but you can't stop doing them. You may get a little breathing room, but if you want more, it requires more. And if you understand the statistics and how you see things come and go and the ebbs and flows, you have to understand that production has to be different. That has to go up. That means people aren't satisfied with just that. They want more of something. And you have to do one thing. You have to provide that specific something. So let's get to the next what moment. Oh yeah, we haven't finished covering race has nothing to do with hate. No, because money talks and bullshit walks. And if you position yourself with relationships, we did cover this. That was a long running one. But we did cover the fact that you can't always make every position about race when you can make every position about yourself in order to enhance yourself, develop yourself, achieve for self, and rely on no one but self to get these things accomplished because it's in you. You can do it. You just have to give yourself the right opportunities, the right timing, the right development, the right confidence, and the right specificities to keep moving forward in your dreams, your quests, and whatever the hell else you got going on and that you need to do. But you have to give yourself the mind space to develop the mind set. I hope you understand that. Let's get to the next what moment. When people hate themselves, they love opportunity. You know why? That's what gives us back to the starving artist. So people think that they have a talent and they think highly of themselves at the moment until they go, well, how did I do? And that person knows you could have done great, got the greatest potential. You could have been the best, but due to the fact they see you as a dime a dozen, they be like, that was all right. I've heard better, but we can work with that. So you're like, really? Gave you the bottom feed of the answer, but really in their mind, they was thinking, hell yeah, you got potential and talent. But I don't know if you're going to be able to do this next phase of the game. What's that next phase of the game? You got to be more free or opener. You got to be more fluid. But I'm not fluid. Did you see what happened to the baby? Do y'all understand he was the number one streaming artist, done this shit, built this shit up without any goddamn help from the industry? But as soon as he hit the industry wave, he boom, 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 boom. That shit's everywhere. Boom, boom. Man. Look at O'Shea still. Doom, 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 doom. You know what I'm saying? So you got the baby, extremely good independent artist, extremely good dope artist. I mean, one of the dopest that came out. Big fan of the baby. I'm 46, but yeah, look, your little young cat had swag like, but he's still a great artist or whatever. But look what the industry did to the man. You have to study those situations. I study my show. You think I'm gonna stop putting on because my numbers or they're gonna be what they're gonna be. I'm gonna catch on when I catch on. It's gonna happen when it happens. I just got to keep putting in the work, and I'm okay with that. It's humbling, it's appreciative, and also it gives me the opportunity to develop my craft. So I'm grateful for that, and I appreciate. That's why I love my subscribers. I appreciate you so much. I love you tuning into the Wheelers Podcast. I appreciate you gratefully, in a major way, in a very pivotal way. I'm thoroughly grateful to have subscribers like you. But let's get back to the thing. When people hate themselves, they love opportunity. So back to the scenario, right? When a person tells you or degrades you or brings you or humbles you or bring you down, you could do better. You ain't shit. Yeah, your potential. I can work with you, but I got a lot of work to put into you. I got to develop you. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But don't snatch my soul. Don't take my dignity. Don't annihilate me. Don't violate me. Don't rape me. Don't distort me. Don't destroy me and expect me to say that's a part of the game. That's extortion. It's abuse. It's criminal. But some people say, well, hell, that's why I'm worth all this damn money because I was strong enough to survive all of it. That don't make you strong. That make you weak as hell. And also, just a subject to the game. That makes you a freakazoid. Actually, that doesn't make you a positive. Doesn't make you a strong person either. It makes you a foolish person and a person that would rather trade your soul and your whole for wealth in this life. And that is weak as fuck. That means you don't have dignity. That means everything that your handler tells you is true about you. That's why you like the way you is. Because you can't get his stench out your mind, even when it's associated with your wealth. That's for you boys out there that think you're so tough, you're so manly, but you're not a man. When you like, hey, I agree with Terrence Howard wholeheartedly when he tell you that. He said, if you think about a man, that a man gives, a man don't receive. So if you think about a man being in a position to receive, you can never recover from that. You cannot be, you can even reclaim the title of being a man no more. You could be a male, but that's over for you, buddy. You can't get that back. Manhood belongs to the strong protector of the virgin assholes. Yeah, for real. You have to honor that like your life because your life does depend on it as you know it. As a man, it really does. So it's not to say you don't have any other men out here that are male-ish, whatever, respect to you and your truth, but that belongs to you. I am a man that's a man, and the fact that that's that way, I have to represent for that, and that's not uh uh what you call that toxic masculinity out of the old. No, it ain't none of that. Get off that shit. That's over with. That's for people like that escape prison because you got some of the most ignorant fucking people in the world voted for. Like that's that situation. Don't associate that with everybody. This is just not that fucking applicable. It's not applicable to everybody. It's not that situation. So anyway, let's get to the next what moment. Regret is not the way. See, when you do things and you regret them, that means you shouldn't have done that shit. But at least it means you have a heart. And it means you should, at least if you can, if there's at least a glimmer of a shake to make amends. Don't create and make enemies for no reason or treat people wrong as if, time's going to heal certain wounds because some people want revenge. But if you haven't given anybody a damn disease, if you haven't given anybody, if you haven't had a child you haven't taken care of, things like that, hey, man, some things are just, you have to let go too. You can't hold on to. And if you don't know people, leave it on this damn internet. Stay the hell away from people because you don't know what the hell you'll get. Leave people the hell alone. Be safe for yourself and others because you really don't know people. And a lot of people don't really understand the actualities of reality. And if you ever know people, people of all ages and rages and times are dropping like flies. Whew. Be grateful, be aware, and be understood in these signs of the times. And be that as it may, learn more about you and listen more than what you have to say. You have two ears and one mouth. Always pay attention to that perspective. Listening is an extremely important skill. It is a skill set, but you have to enhance it. You have to make it stronger and you have to make it more adequate and applicable so you can consume better and everything and you can conceptualize better as well as interpret. You can interpret a way a hell of a lot better. Your comprehension is the most important thing when you read. Comprehending is the gateway to learning, whether visual, whether literal, and all of the other characteristics. Extremely important to comprehend. Comprehension is a skill set as well. All of these things go together. But you should learn these things in grammar school. But some people wasn't that great at grammar and never was good enough to have a proper school of grammar and that really set the tone for the rest of your life. That's why grammar and grammar school, elementary school is extremely important because it sets a foundation, a locale foundation for you in a way that's going to dictate the rest of your life. It's very extremely important to have a very strong foundation, even from an elemental space. Are you smarter than a fifth grader, Marvin? I'm just, yeah. Anyway, let's get to the last word moment. A heavy heart means death. See, a lot of people have done so many damn things that they can't even account for. They just, oh man, they have lived such a disgusting life and have done so many despicable things. They just say, well, fuck empathy, fuck sympathy. I just throw all that shit out the window because it hinders me. It makes my heart too heavy. Well, maybe you should feel those things. Maybe you shouldn't be going further with your life if you have destroyed people, especially children or innocent people or old people. If you robbed your grandmother or your grandfather or your parents, you robbed them blind, you done shit, you've gained wealth unattainably, and you have done wrong things to get it. You don't want to think about those things because you're too busy living your life because you made your life your life. But fuck the fact that you stole everything that you've ever gained. That's crazy work. But some people really feel like that's the way to go. You watch too many criminal movies, that's entertainment. You watch too many heights movies, that's entertainment. But then for some people, it is their reality. It's on the news all the time. Somebody's robbing a damn bank. But the bank is insured, so the money's fine. So guess what? The story lasts 30 days. Meh. Well, I guess they paid off the news cycle, paid off the police force, paid off whoever else they had to pay for. They're in the clear. They're partying with the rich people. Comes up, this scumbag got a new passport, a new identity, and runs a company. Wow. And who are his investors? The same motherfuckers that he stole from. And shake his hand and say, good job, buddy. That was a pretty good trick you pulled there. So damn, how you shit. I hope that gives you a glimpse of how I think the world kind of functions in a lot of ways. These people know each other. They orchestrate the system. They create the same systems that they build their Hollywood platforms on, or the same real life stories that people get away with in real life, and maybe they have to become stories for us to tell to keep this ambiguous industry running. Just keep this thing running, keep you entertained, and telling you the truth in front of your face at the same time, and you steady denying the damn truth. That's cool. That's some big ass work, pimp. That's some hellified work. If you think about how, people get down and how that actually does, really, 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 really alter the way, reality is supposed to be really spelled out. But no, some people are really are part of an industry. And those industries have not allegiances, but they have ways of orchestrating with each other to keep the bullshit going. These are the people that sit at the top of these industries, man. They understand how these things function. It's called letting you stupid people think that what you do is making a difference. That's why you have to look out for yourself. Understand how to change your mindset in order to what? Build a comfortable space out in society that you can exist by knowing yourself and interchanging with people that are like you. That's what's positive. That's what's great. That's what actually gains value. That's equitable. That's what you call equitable. So you'd rather be equitable than have a heavy broken heart of regret and emptiness. See, being equitable, that ain't empty. That's gaining. That's always you're on the rise. You're on the up and up. You're coming up. That's what equity is. It's moving up in the game. But when you're full of regret and when your heart is not as light as a feather, even when you get to the point to where you are older in age and you have never amended, you've never been accountable, you've never accounted for the things that you have done specifically. If you have never accounted for that, how could you ever make amends? But see, you got to get old. We all have to get older. So, in order to do those things, in order to do one thing that for that heart is not to be heavy, you have to be accountable and make amends for yourself, for the people that love you, for the people that you love. You got to think about that is the other way that makes the world go round. It's called being civil. People that are around you that can hold you accountable. People that love you that can keep you uh, focused and that you can do the same for them. It's called an exchange of energy. Keep positiveness around you. You elevate, you go higher. You understand your superpowers. You understand your abnormalities that you appreciate and love about yourself. Yeah, that's what you get into. That's what's dope. So anyway, that's the show tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in to the Willis Podcast. Remember, watch the long shows. Go to the Willis Podcast. Go to the willispodcast.com. Understand we are gonna be revamping some things. Me and my wife, we working on some stuff, man. It's gonna be cool. Y'all gonna like it. Just stay tuned, man. Be patient with me, man. Just stay tuned in, and whatever you go to if you want to go to the website, purchase something, yeah, it helps me out. You don't see me on here begging for y'all. I'm gonna drop my cash up because I need support. I want y'all to help me to support the show. Help me keep the show on. That's it's a great thing. It's a great thing because we do this together. We grow together. It's the Wilderness Podcast. That's what it is. So didn't do a whole lot of book shares tonight because I wanted to have a really intimate conversation with you about that heart. Your heart is a very powerful element of how everything functions in your body, and you want it strong, but you want it light. So be careful what you eat. Be careful of the amount of substances you put in your body, and especially ladies, be careful about these BBLs. You see a lot of these celebrities, they get rid of that shit because they create these problems within your body. And I told you, within 10 years, it can be extremely deadly. Shout out to DC Young Fly for his wife getting a mommy makeover surgery, losing her life. But shout out to her because, that was just so tragic. That's so tragic. So shout out to him for being a champion and taking care of his kids, being a real father. That's love, man. That's loving yourself, and that's keeping his heart light as a feather. So shout out to him. I know y'all people may have forgot about shit like that, but man, that's heavy and hard. And he's a champion and strong for that type of that strength. As a man to have such integrity and not falling apart, and being there for his children. That's admirable. That's a salute to the brother DC Young Fly, for real, for real. So also, man, you got to think about, I always salute real fathers. I always salute people that have humility, that know they have made mistakes. I always salute people that will champion their comeback. I always salute people that are genuine, articulate, and authentic. So that's Will This Podcast tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Will This Podcast. I tell you what, that's the show tonight. But you know, this is my favorite part. Say it with me. The wheel is yours. Hey, stay tuned for the shorts. Y'all keep watching long shows, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Peace. What was that on that? Okay. Okay, cool. Later, my guys. Peace. And girls.